What's love without loyalty? Could I trust you while I chase this money? I just need my mind at peace. I need some sleep. No, I be in these streets. Yo, what's up, man? You know, it's your boy T-Lo Grills back with another one. I want to hop on here to clear some things up, man. You know, for one, man, you know, I've been getting a few people asking me about will I go back to cloud? Hold up, y'all. I'm trying to get my camera right. Need a little down. Okay, y'all, that's decent. But yeah, I want to clear some things up, man. You know, I've been having people hit me up. A lot of people been asking me would I go back to cloud, man. And I just wanted to sum some things up on that. Like, you know, yeah, I'd definitely go back, you know, if that was necessary to do, you know what I mean? But like I say, man, I was never, you know, leaving the company and was trying to bash the company and it wasn't nothing like that, you know. It just was the opportunity that presented itself, you know. I felt very fortunate enough to be able to have such position on the table. So yeah, you know, I would have took that position 100 times over, but you know, it was, you know, my move wasn't to throw dirt on cloud, you know what I mean? So, you know, if you're in the process and thinking about going to cloud, man, you know, please don't let my decision, my urgent move, all of a sudden move, you know, make you change your mind of doing that. Because I feel like it's a great stepping stone company for people to, you know, get them a truck, you know, and get started. I won't want to never take nothing from that or, you know, shatter somebody's thoughts on even going there. Because like I said, if it was necessary, you know, I go back over there. I had a pretty decent thing going with the company where I was working with alongside with the social media manager person and, you know, doing, you know, promotional videos with the company and you know, also helping my YouTube page. So, you know, I was making, you know, pretty decent money on doing that as well. That could have supplemented the difference between the fees that they charge. I could have got them back on the back end. So, you know, it wasn't all of, hell nah, I go somewhere else. You know, I find somewhere else to go. And to sum that up on that. But I also want to talk to y'all about booking loads, you know what I mean? Because we all on spot market. We all booking from pretty much the same locations, getting our load from the same place. Like I say, a lot of folks ask me about is cloud load board, you know, what do you think about cloud load board? And I'm telling you, like, you know, I'm booking on spot market. I be on that 123 CH Robinson. I'm on a lot of these load boards, Convoy, TQL, and I'm seeing a lot of the loads that be on cloud board. All they do is they taking them from that. All them loads going into cloud load board. So I'm seeing the same rate. You know, some people think they stepping on the loads. Nah, man, I'm telling you, from what I'm comparing from what I'm seeing at CH Robinson to what my boy shot the truck over there seeing, it's the same thing. You know, I might see that load on CloudTrucks. I might see that load at CH Robinson for $11.50. You know what I mean? A load going from South Georgia to Texas for like $11.50. You know, I might shoot an offer. The only difference is what I noticed is they seen the give Cloud a lower rate than someone with a better MC number. And we all know why, you know, because Cloud have, you know, a few dings on theirs where, you know, it don't make the company look the best. I can't say it's they score. I just think it's the performance of the drivers that's over there that, you know, like I said, I had one carrier tell me, you know, they had to put CloudTrucks on a 60-day suspension where nobody couldn't book loads because of the reason of it was 11 drivers fell off 11 loads in one day, you know. So stuff like that, that's making the company look more of a liability than anything to some of these brokers. So I can't say that's the score because I don't think that affect the score. You know, I don't think nobody reporting that to the FMCSA. Y'all gotta look over me, man. I'm fresh out the shower. Just got done mowing the yards. My wife went and shot to grab some to the store to grab some steaks. About to throw some steaks on the grill. So I'm gonna jump on here and make this video right quick while I got some time because I want to speak on the load boards. But yeah, man. I can shoot a rate to CH Robinson for 1,600, and they more likely to give me 1,600 than somebody at CloudTrucks that's sending an offer, for that same load that's going from South Georgia to Texas. They more likely to want to give Cloud like 13, 12.50 somewhere in there. They don't want to come up as high, when I don't recall being at Cloud and sending the rate through for $500-$600 higher than the posted rate and ever getting accepted. So I'm noticing that, but other than that, man, I think everything else is pretty fair. The rates are the same. That's about the only difference that I'm noticing. They able to give someone with a better MC a higher ticket. Higher rate than CloudTrucks. But other than that, man, you really just have to, work your lanes. Like I always say, find your lanes that work for you and make relationships with them brokers. If you can, try to deal with the same broker, try to deal with the same cats because you can get a relationship with those guys. And, some of them, try to help get you the best rate every time you call in. They remember your name and, y'all start to get to talking on a WhatsApp or a Google chat. At some of them, if you're dealing with them like close, all the time, like, yo, hey man, you got a, WhatsApp or a Google chat. Cause the thing is, when you get on those apps, you can pretty much chat back and forth, just like sending a text message, So you'll be a little bit more quick, get a quicker response than having to send an email and waiting back on a response. So that's another thing. That's another tool that, I can drop on y'all to do that I find works for me pretty often. But yeah, man, you just gotta find your lane. Find your lane where it work for you. Set your goal. If you need 5,000 a week to be profitable, and pay your bills at home, you gotta try to hit your 5,000 no matter what you have to do. Sometimes you can't go home every weekend. Sometimes you gotta be like, yo, bae, I'm gonna have to roll this weekend. You know what I mean? Like, or if you can get away with 4,500 or $4,000, you know what I mean? Yo, since I'm getting 10% now, I can get away with 4,000 some weeks when I'm not, when I don't have to pay a lot of bills in 1 week. But usually morely at Cloud, it was 5,000. That was it. That was like the ground. You know what I mean? So, but I recommend 5 for everybody. But like I say, everybody ain't got bills at home. Everybody ain't got kids like that. I got a pretty big family and a pretty big home, so yeah, what I mean? I have to hit my mark. I need my mark. Cause you got to pay the truck note and you got to pay your bills at home. Both of them essential. So you can't really cut no corners on now one of them. That's why I say I have to hit my goal, especially when, everything due, like truck insurance, rent, your fuel bill, because I don't pay my fuel no more the same way. I have a fuel bill once a week pretty much. So yeah, when all that, double down, looking at about 35, 4 grand, at one time. So, you know what I mean? Though I say I have to hit my mark, man. But if you get used to it, it'll become more easier to know how you want to start your week. But some weeks, it depends on how you start your week. If you go ahead and shoot try to make your first load be like 1,500 or 2,000, that kind of go ahead and set the base for the week. So you automatically damn near halfway to your goal. You know what I mean? And I find if you're trying to be home every week, the best way to do that is to shoot out, and work yourself back. Cause if you get, depending on where y'all at, I can't really get that much going out to like Texas or Ohio, because I'm guessing now Georgia is like a more of a receiving state than a shipping state. That's just how it's looking to me, because the rates be way lower leaving than coming back. So if you can go out like right now, today is Saturday the 30th, and I got a load going to Oklahoma. I'm going to Stillwell, Oklahoma, for a Tuesday delivery. I may leave tomorrow, I may leave Monday morning, but the favor is looking like I'm probably gonna leave Sunday, tomorrow, only because I just find out the NFL don't start their games this weekend. It's gonna be next weekend, so I really, I'm spending time with the family today. So I really don't have another reason to sit here and miss that, jump on the week, that I can get a head start on the week by staying home. I just wanted to make sure I was home on the week the NFL. So, I want to catch those games. Even though I can catch them in my truck, I got Wi-Fi and all that in my truck, but I like to be home, be comfortable catching those. But anywho, yeah, man. But so I probably leave Sunday. I can run all day Sunday. I probably early that morning, run up to about 7, 8, boom, somewhere now. Probably before then if I leave early, and I can shut down and finish it Monday. So now I got Tuesday. I can make that delivery with a fresh start, and I got 1,700 on that load. But that ain't all the time rate. I picked that up in Florida at that. But it usually, North Florida, but usually them loads don't be paying much, leaving Georgia area, definitely not Florida, going out there like that. And that ain't the greatest, but leaving this area is decent. Anybody that's from this area know that's decent. But yeah, so going out there for that, then getting out there, I'm looking to try to come back across for no less than 3,000. You know what I mean? So doing those two loads, I'm already down there right at my mark. That's why I say it's not bad to scratch out a little bit, run like that. Sometimes you ain't gotta always run by the house. Make it a little bit difficult to hit your goals sometimes when you're trying to stay within a box. You know what I mean? When it's necessary, it's cool. Or when you don't feel like scratching out, it's cool. I understand. I do it a lot. Don't get me wrong. I ain't been to Texas or Oklahoma outside of Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi. I ain't been outside these areas in probably about 2 months now, other than the Wyoming run I did, the last load I brought back with Cloud. But other than that, I ain't really been outside, since I've been with New Way. I ain't really, that been it, really. I've been, like I say, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. That been it. But I'm pushing out this weekend, cause this how I usually run. You know what I mean? I've been kind of pushing myself to get back to that, because I make even more money. Because of my situation, I make even more because I'm seeing more now. And it's I can leave Oklahoma and go to Maryland. You know what I mean? For about 2,500. Or anywhere in Maryland area, Virginia, 20-something hundred, you know what I mean? And then shoot down to Georgia, be home for the weekend, 'cause I got a daughter birthday on the 6th next week, so gotta definitely be home for that. But yeah, you know what I mean? We talking another 4,500, if I do that triangle move, which I might do it. I really would love to go around Ohio from Oklahoma, and then shoot down Indiana, I say more of Ohio. But, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, move around a little more. I know it's comfortable to run in your lane, but when the load's not in your lane, and lately it been kind of shaky lately with these rates. And when it's not there, sometimes you just gotta maneuver. You know what I mean? You can't stay in the same spot. Shit put you in a hole. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at right now, you know, because I love hitting that 5,000 a week, but that 6,000 really make a big difference. So that's where I'm at with it, man. But you know, maybe I can shine the light on, you know, some more of y'all that got trucks that's running and trying to stay close to home. Maybe some of y'all in the decent area. If you in Texas, you know, you about in a better area than I'm in on top. Ohio, out top, you know. But where I'm at in Georgia, South Georgia is kind of like a dead spot. So you're already kind of shooting yourself even being this way, let alone coming this way. So yeah, I probably flirt with the ideal of trying to move around a little more, you know, just a little more. Just a little more, you know. I'm gonna still shoot south. I'm gonna still shoot back home once I go out, but it depends on me making a triangle before I come straight back home. Because going to Florida, I kind of be shooting myself. I had a deadhead 400 miles yesterday just to come back up to North Florida to pick up this load that I got going to Oklahoma. So that's 400 miles. We talking at least $1,000. That was at least $1,000. So imagine if I was in Indiana. I would have never had a deadhead 400 miles. Ohio, never. Texas, never. So that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you got to get out your comfort zone to go get that money. You know what I mean? But that's pretty much it, y'all. I ain't want to make the video too long. I want to, you know, get straight to the point. Thank y'all for taking the time out to watch me and still continue watching me. And the new subscribers, please engage into the video. Holla at your boy. Y'all know, jump on my Instagram, TLO Grills 88. Shoot your boy, you know, a message. Follow me on there. Subscribe to me on here if you haven't. And yeah, man, you know, catch me on the next one. And I'm also thinking about doing my next video, probably gonna be something more so about how did I get into trucking? You know what I mean? So it ain't gonna be mostly all about money, but I'm gonna mix a little of the money in there, you know, to keep us all entertained, because that's, you know, at the end of the day, that's what we want to hear about. You know what I mean? That's what I jump on when I'm looking to go to a company. That's what I was jumping on to see what they talking about. You know, that would motivate people to get out here and go. That would motivate people to go to certain companies. That would motivate people to want to run the load board. That would run, you know what I mean? So that we at with that, man. But other than that, deuces. Till next time, my guys. Stay safe out there. Water.
What's love without loyalty? Could I trust you while I chase this money? I just need my mind at peace. I need some sleep. No, I be in these streets.